Hey everybody, bear with me. Just want to get some bugs worked out here. Now I am going to switch over to this screen here. So we are in the digital order form, which you should be using for all of your digital sales. And I just wanted to walk through this briefly because we still seem to be having a lot of issues with this. And I just wanted to walk through an example. So I'm going to use a previously client, which is eating pet impact there. So I went ahead, I selected copy via email. That's going to be no different than your regular print insertion order. So I have copy via email. I'm leaving blank, add previously ordered. And under advertiser and account name, eaten pet and pasture. Now I'm going to go down here. There seems to be some disparity on what different individuals would prefer. And so I'm just going to say for now, let's do separate insertion orders for each component. Technically speaking, you can list all of that information on one insertion order. This is set up to do that. But for sake of confusion, we want to do whatever's the most straight cut option. So we're going to do two separate, in the case of a package, we would do 3 separate insertion orders. So I'm going to pretend that I'm doing a red ribbon package for country culture. So I'm going to select the 300 by 250 option and click that. Now, that has maybe been confusing in the transition. I don't know. We've asked for feedback and there's not been a whole lot of feedback. But the goal, the hope with switching these out for the dimensions was that it made it a little bit easier to select what you need specifically. Just to clarify what I'm looking for, I'm going to go into the Media Kit, and open the Country Culture Kit for sake of example. So that size for the red ribbon package that again we're using as our example, the rectangle advertisement is going to be 300 by 250 pixels. So if I go back over here to my other order, or to my order form, I'm going to see that 300 by 250 pixels. These are all of the website options pretty much across the board, company-wide for our websites. This is the newsletter size, and it looks like this was put back on accident, but just as a reminder, we're only using the 940 by 788 for Facebook. So regardless of what you're choosing, if you're choosing a website, you would decide you would choose one of these size options. If I'm choosing a newsletter, I would choose the 580 by 120. And if I'm choosing Facebook, I would choose the 940 by 788. Now, for sake of our example, I'm doing the website. So today is March the 20th. So let's say operatively, I'm planning on this to start April 1st. A reminder that these ads are a month-long duration for country culture specifically. I think that's the case for all of the publications, but our website ads run for a month. So we're going to start that on April 1, 2023. And then I am going to April the 30th.
Here, he's there. I think it's awful that it's calling like setup.
So that's our beginning and our end date. We're going to start it on April the 1st. We're going to go to April the 30th. Now, for rotation, what rotation means is, are you going to place the ad with your ad art and just leave it and let it run? Or do you want to change it week to week? Some of you might do a several month-long buy. So your client wants to run an ad on the website for say 3 or 4 months. Are you going to change the artwork on a monthly basis, or are you just going to run it all the way through? So that's the options that we're looking at here. And we have to choose either yes or no. So I'm going to pick no, because for the sake of our hypothetical example, they're not going to change their artwork at all. They're just going to run it as is all the way across the board. Now, for our issue bill date, we have to pick what date to bill to. So when Michelle bills the sale, what does that need to post to? Now, there's a little bit more flexibility with country culture because we don't have a print tie-in. If you're doing digital buy for country folks or country folks grower, that is going to be tied to that print date. So, for instance, if I was putting in a digital buy for country folks right now, I would probably put March 27th, which is the print date that we're working on. If I was putting in something for grower right now, I would probably put April 1, which is the nearest open grower bill date. For the sake of my hypothetical example, we're doing an order for country culture, so I'm just going to do April 1 for my billing date. And then we're going to come down here. Again, if it's easier for you and you don't want to be confused, you can leave this blank. All that I do for these, since I'm not rotating, is just put the ad title. So for this, we're going to do, I'm going to make something up. But and then I'm going to go and I leave all of this blank. If I was going to rotate through some different options, I could list those out here. So if I, for instance, say I wanted to rotate on a weekly basis, and I wanted to change my artwork every week of the month, I could label these pasture 1.
But one I'm going to give them yeah. But now that
so in the event that I was going to rotate on that weekly basis, I've now indicated that I need 4 different copies of artwork. Either we're going to build those, or Eaton is going to send 4 separate pieces of artwork to rotate on the website. And then that's going to echo down here. So, for instance, my example now, we're not going to rotate, and I'm going to uncheck this. I'm going to get rid of all of these. But in the event that I was going to do that, and I was going to rotate on a weekly basis, I would do the same thing, what I just did up here, and in all of these blanks that say add title, I would go through and list all of the names of those files. So it would be like Eaton Pet and Pasture Web 1, Eaton Pet and Pasture Web 2, so on and so forth. So I'm going to go down here and do Eaton Pet and Pasture Web. And I have to do the link. I have to put a link here. So I'm going to, I don't remember the website off the top of my head, so I'm just going to make something up. But Eaton Pet and Pasture .com. So that's all situated, and I'm going to come down here and give some directions, obviously, for building the ad for the website. So, client would like us to build ad, logo, and some photos. And and then I'm going to build it for the packages. You obviously want to include the full total of one insertion order. If you are going to do separate insertion orders, you can just zero that out on the other orders. So I'm going to put the total here and make this the order that I did the billing on. So you've got the $300 total, whatever it is off the top of my head. I don't remember what the now for here for the section, since I'm doing separate orders, all that I need to remember to mark is the digital website. So I'm doing my website ad and I'm marking digital website here. Now, this whole section here functions the same way as if we were doing a print ad. So I'm going to start up here I'm going to add the account number. I'm going to put my rep number and my name. I'm doing a new ad and approval. And adding my email. Now, it's good to go for the website. Right now, we would be good to go. I would save this as a PDF and send this out to order entry and to Jessica for the art elements. Let's do an example with a newsletter now. So let's say I already did my billing. You know what? Bear with me 1 second. We're gonna get back in here. Okay, so we're gonna do an example with a newsletter now. So same scenario, we're gonna be building this. So we're doing copy via email. Let's say they're gonna send us a logo or whatnot. We're going to go down to here and push auctioneering. They're one of mine. So let's say that they're going to do an ad for country folk. So we're going to do bush auctioneering, copy via email. They're going to do newsletter. Now, this is a little bit different here because I need to be cognizant of when the newsletter goes out and how many weeks it's going to cover. So the Country Folks newsletter goes out every Friday. So my next upcoming date would be the 24th. So assuming Dave says I want to start at ASAP, I'm going to put 03/24/2023. Now, for my end date, say he purchased a month, I'm going to go from the 24th to 31st, and then April 7th and April 14th. So I'm going to put my last date, my end date here as April 14th. Again, we're not rotating. I'm going to do the bill date again to the nearest print date. So I'm going to do the 27th. And I'm going to do actually, what the heck? We'll rotate. So we're going to do, instead of this, I'm going to choose yes. I'm going to go weekly. So we're going to say all right, so I've made out 4 different ads here, like a generalized promo and then 2 specified auction ads. So we're going to rotate through all 4 of these throughout the month. So we're starting here with the Main Street sale on the 24th. So now I'm going to come down here and I'm going to list each of these individually. So we're going to take the Main Street sale. That's going to go in blank number 1. Oh, actually, I can get it to work. And then remember, I'm putting that link right underneath there. Workshop sharing promo.
When we reach out, I have some of your accounts.
So I'm not going to do all of them, but
And
that's the basic
we
flow of
generally
it.
advertise
I
for
would
an
just
auction
list
and
out
I'm doing some
like this
research
might
on
get
this week.
like
I see you have your some
auction.
email coming up. is that something you want to advertise? I know you usually do.
So I'm going to list out those links underneath all of those. And again, down here, I'm going to give specific examples or guidelines on what I want for the ad artwork. It is important that I list all of it out. So like frequency, sale,
I found it on your website.
happy logo.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Do you want me to go based off the sizes and stuff that you've done before? I'm not terribly familiar with your account. And then email SimmonsAustin@yahoo.com. Okay. So, all right, you want that in both of the next two pages?
So it's important to give as much direction as you can. So here I've numbered them in order of the copy with some different notes that I might have for Jessica and Michelle's team downstairs and listed that out. All of this is going to be the same. That's going to function as a it's just like a whip for print out. So I'm going to fill all that out. The only difference being when I get down here, I'm going to click digital newsletter, and then and now I'm going to save that and send that off to Jessica and Michelle. Now, let's do a Facebook ad. So for this one, copy the email. Let's say, and this is the case with Typeforce, they have existing print ads that they want to, so they send, do we send that along to me? I'm going to use that as a basis for their ad to go up on Facebook for this upcoming sale that they have going on this week. So I'm going to select, I've got their info filled out here. I'm going to select 940 by 788. Now, let's say their sale is like April 10th. So they're wanting to, they purchased like 4 Facebook ads, we'll say. So I'm going to start them ASAP because it's just some quick edits. So let's say, because we do need to give Jessica's team some time to get the edits done and get a proof out. So let's plan on getting that uploaded on Friday. So I'm going to say that we're going to start 03 is 24, 3. And then we're going to go, she bought 4. So let's do the 24th through the 7th. We're going to double up on the 3rd. So we're going to go through the 7th. We're not rotating, so we're getting now, and again, we're billing to the 27th for country code. I'm doing Facebook. And even though it is different, and I'll talk through what I mean in a minute, these aren't going to click through it. We do still include the link for Facebook. So it's still important that I include their website. So I'm including that there. Now down here, this is something that I've harped on a lot of different emails and we're still seeing it not happen. I would really like us to fix that because I think this is an asset to all of our clients, regardless of color, across the board. When you send in an ad, do something like this. I'm going to label it caption. Check out our upcoming spring visitation for all of your equipment. And then I'm gonna, underneath it would be the website again. So that's how it'll appear on Facebook. So make sure you include something like that. It's super easy. You're like, I just don't feel creative enough. That's okay. So what we can do is
Did we take her? I actually kind of liked her.
Oh, so did I. The first time I met her. And then, like, I'm sorry.
trying to find a good website with an about section.
She should have done it. Was she afraid that she would defend me? Was she afraid to get in trouble at work? Both of those things. Yeah. She didn't need to work. Okay, well, this is that's right. Well, I told her. You heard me.
So this isn't a good example, but I don't know if you can see here. A lot of times what I'll do, if you're like, I'm just not creative enough, I don't think I can do that. Go to the about section on the client's website. This one's a little bit wordy, so it's not a good example, but a lot of times they'll have like a value statement or like after the history. This is us today. I'll go through what they're currently focused on. That's usually something you can pull a couple of good sentences out of and something that you can use. So, go away. All right. So we're back to our form, and I've included that caption. Now, I need to reiterate for Krista's benefit when this is going to run. So remember, I said we're going to start on Friday, so we're going to do the 24th and the 31st. So we're going to do 03/24, 03/1. And now we have to double up because her sale's on the 10th, and she bought 4. So we're going to do those 2 Fridays. Then I'm going to do the Monday prior. So that's going to be the 3rd, and then that Friday, the 7th. So now, I don't know if you can see that, but I have listed out there those dates. And now I'm going to go through, let's say we gave her a steal, so she's only paying $100 for that. And Facebook. And then I go through and I fill all this out. That's basically it for the form. I do want to talk about this really quickly. We don't create resources in a vacuum. This was gone through in pretty painstaking detail with the goal of creating something that would hopefully be of use to you as a reference tool. Utilize this. If you're not familiar with it, or if you haven't looked at it in great detail, all of these numbers correspond to a set of instructions on the back with the goal of trying to explain what needs to go in those respective blanks. If you don't have this, let us know, because I'd love to get you a laminated copy of that for your records so that you can reference that when you're filling it out. Last but not least, I did want to talk through some things about All right, welcome back. So I do
Yeah, I
want
don't
to
know
share
Dave has this.
this. So I am in, I don't know if you can see here, but I am in a recent edition of the Country Folks newsletter.
No, I want to.
So there's a couple different. We're just gonna pick one here. So this ad is in the newsletter. This is a banner ad in the newsletter. I'm clicking this. So
Bruce is looking into your name. Okay, please.
Thank you. Joan is supposedly underneath the aspect.
sorry, I'm trying to figure out the tech here with what's showing or not. I don't know if you can see that or not, but when I clicked on that ad, that redirected to their website. So when we ask you on an order to include that link, that is what we're doing. When somebody clicks on that newsletter, where do you want that to take them? That's all I can think of. That was really quick and off the cuff. I can do a more in-depth one at some point if you like, or if that wasn't helpful or something was rushed or I didn't get to anything that you specific concern you have or something you're not sure on, let me know. I'm hoping this works. We're gonna give it a try and a look-see and see if everything came through all right. But if we are able to do this via Zoom, I'm able to do quick snapshot type versions explaining stuff. And pass those recordings along, we absolutely will do that. If you ever want to hop on a Zoom call one-on-one or with a group of us and go over some things, we can absolutely do that too. So just let me know. Thanks.